these are my group members. And together with my group members, we are going to present our coursework today. This is a table of content of our presentation. We will follow the structure to stay organized and make it easy for you to follow the key points. In this slide, we will explore how Narayan's leadership journey from India to Silicon Valley exemplifies the qualities of a successful international leader. We will look into his strategic decisions, cross-cultural leadership style, and how he transformed Adobe into a global powerhouse. Through his story, we will gain deeper insights into the importance of adaptability, innovation, and cultural intelligence in navigating the complexities of international business leadership. Shantanu Narayan was born in India in 1963 and began his career in technology by joining Apple in 1980. He joined Adobe in 1998 as vice president and general manager of engineering. His rise within the company was rapid by 2005. He was promoted to chief operating officer and in 2007 he became Adobe's CEO. Under his leadership, Adobe transformed its business model and achieved significant growth. In 2018, he was recognized as one of the world's best CEOs by Barron's. By 2021, he had led Adobe to surpass 15 billion in annual revenue, cementing his reputation as a visionary and impactful leader in the tech industry. Now, according to CATS, effective leadership requires a combination of three key skill sets. Technical skills refer to proficiency in specific tools, techniques, or processes relevant to a particular field or function. And these are especially important for lower and middle management levels. Human skills involve the ability to work effectively with others, encompassing communication, empathy, and team. These skills are essentials for leader at all levels. Finally, conceptual skills are the capacity to think strategically and understand the organization as a whole, which is most critical for top level leaders. Together, these skills enable leaders to manage tasks, lead people, and formulate strategies that drive organizational success. Um, Now, I will talk about the transformational leadership. Transformational leadership is centered on inspiring a shared vision that motivates people to work toward meaningful long term change. Leaders who adopt his style empower their followers to look beyond personal interest and commit to collective goals, fostering a strong sense of purpose and dedication. By acting as ethical and charismatic role models, they earn trust and inspire others to emulate their values and behaviors. Also, they create an environment that encourage innovation and creativity, supporting new ideas and risk innovation and creativity. They take risk to drive continuous improvement. Additionally, transformational leaders invest in developing their team members, providing guidance and opportunity to help individuals reach their full potential. Ultimately, their focus is on achieving deep, sustainable change rather than simply pursuing short term objectives, ensuring lasting benefits for both the organization and its people. Thank you.
Now we will see the how the critical evaluation of this theory, which is applicable to Mr. Narayan. So Shantanu Narayan his technical skills come from his engineering background, which helped him deeply understand, adopt digital products and involvements in an innovation. His human skills are shown in how he builds strong relationship, leads diverse multicultural teams, creating positive work environment. His conceptual skills is evident that the strategic division, especially in shifting Adobe business model to focus on subscription-based services and customer experiences. However, even these strong skills leader like Naran can face challenges such as the resistance from the customer about the pricing or concern rise during the mergers or acquisition. This shows the leadership skills, while crucial but not always overcome the external obstacles. So now we will see the how transformation leadership approach applicable to Mr. Narayan that Ms. Shantanu Narayan leading adopts a major shift from the traditional box software to a creative cloud platform, fundamentally changing the company's business model. He has championed digital innovation and the integration of AI into Adobe creativity tools, forecasting the culture focused on the purpose and adaptability. However, despite his visionary approach, some of his decisions, such as moving a cloud-only model and subscription pricing, has been criticized and prioritized commercial goal over the customer needs, revealing some challenges in balancing innovation with the user expectations. So, Mr. Narayan promotes the vision that creativity for all. Narayan consistently champion Adobe brand vision of making creativity accessible to everyone regardless of skill or a background. So now we'll see the analyzing the outcomes that what worked and what didn't work. So under the Mr. Narayan leadership, Adobe successfully transformed its business model from traditional software licensing to a cloud-based subscription system with Adobe Creation Cloud, and the integration of AI through Adobe Sensei introduced cutting edge features like real time aging and facial recognition, redefining the creativity and innovation at Adobe. And what didn't work? The subscription based model that faced customer backlash, especially from the freelancer and small users who felt price is high, and Adobe has acquisition of Figma encountered the antitrust scrutiny and public resistance that facing the challenges right now. And coming to us, the did empathy equal impact on Mr. Shantanu Narayan? While Shantanara has emphasized inclusive creativity, customer-centric approach, Adobe shift from the cloud-based to subscription-based and face significant challenges from freelancers and small creators who felt inclusive due to the higher ongoing cost compared to the previous one-time purchase. And additionally, despite promoting innovation user-first vision, Adobe $20 billion attempt to acquire Figma sparked concern among the regulators and industry experts about the reduced competition in the design software market, drawing widespread scrutiny. These challenges highlight the complexity that Mr. Narayan faces in balancing growth, innovation, and fairness in competitive global market. Mr. Shantanu Narayan is empathetic and transformation leadership has driven Adobe innovation and reliance. However, bold decisions like pricing changes, acquisition has sometimes conflict with user expectations, showing that empathy alone can't prevent all the criticisms. So now we will see the strength and weaknesses of the Mr. Shantanu Narayan, that he is a he has a visionary leadership transform Adobe from a traditional software company to cloud-based company, and he fosters an inclusive culture at Adobe, promoting diversity and collaboration while maintaining strong ethical standard that build trust with employees, customer, and stakeholders worldwide. And the weaknesses, that is the Shantanu Narayan has emphasized a mostly standardized global strategy for adapt products. For example, Adobe Creative Cloud offers a consistent user experience worldwide with only a essential regional adjustment, allowing to company to scale efficiently across the market. And high risk innovation strategy is that the shifting from Adobe from selling package software to a cloud-based subscription model with Creative Cloud. This bold innovation involved upfront cost and uncertainty, but ultimately it worked. That the reversion, that the business is boosted revenue past, that is the $15 billion, and had successfully run this business. So now we will see the second leader, that is the Justin Trudeau, is explained by my colleague.
Next international leader we are talking about is Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau was born on December 25th, 1971, in Ottawa into a prominent political family. His father, Pierre Trudeau, served over 15 years as Prime Minister and helped shape modern Canadian identity. Raised in a politically active environment, Justin developed early values of inclusivity, social justice, and national unity. He earned a BA in literature from McGill and a bachelor's of education from UBC. Later, working as a high school teacher, where he owned empathy, communication, and a passion for public service, traits that defined his leadership style. Trudeau entered federal politics in 2008, representing Papineau, a diverse Montreal riding. In 2013, he became a Liberal Party leader, reviving the struggling party with a message of transparency, inclusivity, and sunny ways. In 2015, he led the Liberals to a majority government, promoting climate action, social justice, and a gender balanced cabinet. Key policies included legalizing cannabis, implementing carbon pricing, and resettling the Syrian refugees. Trudeau retained power in 2019 and 2021 with minority governments. His second term was marred by controversies like SNC Lavalin and the blackface incident, while the third focused on COVID-19 recovery, CERB aid, and vaccination efforts. By March 2025, Trudeau faced mounting pressure over rising costs and healthcare challenges. He emphasized climate investment, mental health reform, and Canada's global role, but announced his resignation in January 2025, officially stepping down in March, succeeded by Mark Carney. Now I will talk about the situational leadership. In situational leadership, it is flexible approach where leaders adopt their style based on team members' competence and commitment. They may direct, coach, support, or delegate depending on the individual's need. This tailored method boosts performance and growth, but demand ongoing assessments and emotional intelligence, making it challenging and the time consuming. Uh, in this, I will talk about disruptive and the transformational leadership. In disruptive leadership is a dynamic and transformating style focused on challenging the status quo and driving innovation to achieve breakthrough results. Disruptive leaders are visionaries who don't settle for incremental change. Instead, they push their organizations to think, establish norms, embrace new technologies, and explore unconventional ideas. They encourage creativity, experimentation, and calculated risk taking, empowering team to learn from failures and adapt quickly. This leadership style is especially valuable in fast-paced industries where staying ahead of competitors requires continuous transformation. However, disruptive leadership can also generate resistance among employees and stakeholders who prefer stability, and it carries a higher risk of failure if changes are not carefully planned and communicated. Successful disruptive leaders balance bold vision and strategic execution and strong communication. And transformational leadership inspire a shared vision of to drive meaningful long-term change. These leaders act as ethical role models, motivating teams to pursue collective goals, foster innovation, and grow individually. They prioritize trust, creativity, and development, aiming for lasting impact over short-term gains, as it implies to Justin Trudeau as well. So, thank you.
Well, now moving towards the critical analysis of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau's leadership can be characterized by both his bold style and his adaptive approach. In his first term, he demonstrated a disruptive leadership style by breaking political norms and pushing forward progressive reforms. Notable actions included the legalization of recreation of cannabis, the implementation of a national carbon tax to address climate change, and the restructuring of his cabinet to ensure gender parity. These bold moves reflected his commitment to modernizing Canadian policy and promoting inclusivity and sustainability. In addition to his reformist style, Trudeau also exemplified situational leadership, especially during times of crisis. According to Hersey and Balchandra's theory, situational leadership involves adjusting one's leadership style based on the needs of the followers and the circumstances at hand. This was evident during the COVID-19 pandemic when Trudeau launched the Canada Emergency Response Benefit CERB, which provided over $80 billion in financial assistance to individuals and businesses. His quick and compassionate response highlighted his ability to adapt under pressure and lead with empathy, making his leadership both impactful and responsive. Showed a supportive style in movements of grief like the Humboldt crash and participative approach by engaging with provinces and indigenous leaders on various issues. Well, in this slide, we analyze the outcomes of what worked and what didn't work in the leadership of Justin Trudeau, where the outcomes present a mixed picture. On the success side, his COVID-19 response was decisive. Canada rolled out vaccines quickly and maintained a lower COVID-19 death rate than most G7 nations. In environmental leadership, he took significant steps by rejoining the Paris Agreement and committing to a carbon price of $80 per ton by 2025. His gender balanced cabinet and welcoming immigration stance reinforced his image as modern progressive leader. However, Trudeau faced major challenges. The legalization of cannabis in 2018 was historic, but the black market remained active, primarily due to inconsistent implementation and cross provisions. His reputation took a hit during SNC Lavalin scandal, where he was found to have violated ethical rules. On the domestic front, by 2025, rising housing costs, prolonged healthcare wait times, and inflation led to increased public dissatisfaction, highlighting the limits of his policy delivery despite good intentions. Well, we must also question whether his empathetic, inclusive leadership always led to effective governance. His empathetic style reconnected with voters, but structural outcomes didn't always match his rhetoric. Justin Trudeau is often praised for his empathy and emotional intelligence, especially in how he communicates with the public. However, when he asks whether that empathy translates into real impact, the results are mixed. For instance, Trudeau has spoken passionately about Indigenous reconciliation, yet his government has repeatedly missed key deadlines on providing clean drinking water for First Nations communities. Similarly, although he connects well with people on a personal level, his emotional leadership didn't prevent rising issues like political polarization, Western alienation, or growing frustration among middle class Canadians who feel left behind. His public apologies, such as for blackface incidents, were viewed by some as genuine, but by others were strategic attempts at image repair, further questioning the depth of accountability. Justin Trudeau's leadership can be described as a hybrid disruptive and situational styles. His tenure shows that while empathy can inspire, it must be combined with policy depth, integrity, and consistent action in order to achieve lasting impact. Now, let's take a closer look at the strengths and weaknesses of Justin Trudeau's leadership. Although Justin Trudeau is known for making symbolic gestures such as acknowledging Indigenous rights, he has been often criticized for a lack of follow through. He has faced multiple ethical controversies like the SNC Lavanin affair and We Charity scandal. Lastly, critics argue that his leadership sometimes focuses more on image management than actual deep structural reform, particularly in critical areas like housing, infrastructure, and affordability. Now let's shift to his strengths. Trudeau is known as a progressive reformer. One of his early actions as prime minister was forming a gender balance cabinet, as discussed before, which was seen as the strong symbol of his commitment to diversity and inclusion. His crisis leadership during COVID-19 was notable. He acted swiftly by introducing financial aid and public health strategies. Moving to the next slide, Shantanu Narayan Of course, both Mr. Shantanu Narayan and Justin Trudeau show how different leadership styles operate in real world contexts. Their experiences highlighted the need for balance between vision, ethics, and accountability for long term effectiveness. Well, as to recommend, these are the recommendations that we would like to give. Rebalancing pricing models and strengthen user engagement for Mr. Shantanu Narayan, and deliver on the next slide, please. Deliver on, sorry, previous slide. Deliver on symbolism and ethics and accountability. These recommendations are given as to improve on their already progressive leadership style. So these both leaders have shown impactful leadership, but refining their approaches through more inclusive, ethical, and feedback-driven practices can lead to more sustainable and respected leadership outcomes. These are the references that were used for our critical analysis of these two leaders, and now we would like to conclude our meeting. Thank you so much.